Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Winnie. I am a career coach by day and a world traveler at heart. I want to share with you a quick glimpse of my daily view. This is my view out the window every day. So at the beginning of this year, I traveled to Bali for some needed time off and spending my day contemplating on why am I so attractive but still single? Or why am I so badass but did not get equal pay as my male colleagues? Just kidding. I'm here to clear my mind and learn about life. Hello, good morning. Today is day 4 of our 7-day quarantine. Every day, without fail, we get fruit this time. Today is day 6 of quarantine. So welcome to Bali. We are finally here. We made it to our villa. To be honest, I was worried that 3 months in Bali may be too long for me and I will miss my family. But Bali had made it very easy to settle in. And now that I've been here for 2 months, I want to share with you a glimpse of my life here and what I've learned from this beautiful island. Bali has everything you need here. That's why it's one of the top choices for digital nomads. Every block you walk, you will see a coffee shop, convenience stores, local or Western restaurants, salons or pharmacies. So you can find everything you need in the Canggu area within walking distance. And if you want to change your working scenery, you can work at a cafe or you can go to a co-working space. And there's usually one co-working space within 2 to 3 kilometer radius from where you live. And I have to give credit to the technology here. It's actually the true enabler to making things so convenient for expat or digital nomads like us. The app Grab and Gojek are the 2 apps that I use to pretty much take care of all my living needs here. I can order foods, I can order grocery, I can call a car, I can book a bike if I want to, rent a bike for a day. And I can do pretty much all kinds of things on that app. We orders out more than cooking our own dinner just because our kitchen supply is kind of limited as where we're renting right now. But it has become so convenient. Usually when we place an order, it will come within 30 minutes, including the order time, the kitchen cooking time, and the time it takes for the guys to deliver the food to us. And the food is delicious and super affordable, so it's actually also more cost effective to orders out. It's Friday night and it's raining outside, so we don't feel like going out. And you know what? This is why I feel like Bali has spoiled me, because I placed an order on the Grab app and they deliver all this in 15 minutes. They packed it up, deliver. So now I got my vodka, I got my soju, I got my orange water and Sprite and some donut and mochi and popcorn so I can fix my writer block issue. I need to finish the script for my YouTube video. And you might say I'm working hard, but also hardly working. I don't drive here because I guess I should say I haven't build up the courage to drive here. First, they drive on the left side of the road and it still really messes with my head. Second, the road is really small and the rule of thumb here is if you see road, you go. I'm not that brave just yet and I don't want to get into trouble because police can actually stop you if they spot that you might not be someone who drive here. And if you don't have a license, you can actually get a fine around 1 million rupiah, which is about $70 US dollar. And I don't want to get into the unnecessary trouble of dealing with the police here. So plus a go-kart ride is so cheap. A quick ride to the city center, which is in Denpasar, which is around 7 or 8 kilometers away, costs us around $4. So why don't I just call a car instead? You can rent a bike here for roughly $50 a month. They also have a lot of at-home services that you can book. The other day, I just tried booking at-home last extension service. And with the commute fee plus tip plus the service and everything, I pay $40 for it. For fun activity, I use Klook. This is actually a very convenient app for traveler, tourists, because it has all the fun tour activity that you can book And it's not just, booking hotel or attractions and tickets. You can also book, say, your SIM card, and you can order the SIM card ahead of time and pick it up at the airport. You can order your airport transport pickup or, drop-off service here on this app. And the good thing is the app takes credit card, like a Visa and MasterCard. So the other day we went to Nusa Penida Islands by booking through this app. I guess the lesson here is don't lose your phone. With all the apps that you have, with all the private information that you have, losing your phone can be pretty scary. Now let's talk about the food, which is my favorite part about living in Bali so far. It is so diverse. Over the years, there are many people coming to Bali. A lot of people decide to stay in Bali and live here. So therefore, they also bring the diverse food culture to this beautiful island. So you can find everything from your local Indonesian food to Vietnamese food, Thai food, Singapore food, Malaysian food, and of course you have your Italian, your Western food, everything. And because the healthy lifestyle is such a big thing here, you will find a lot of amazing vegan restaurants. I think we gain weight instead of losing weight. Like I said earlier, because it's so convenient, a lot of day we just order food online. So someday we'll take a short walk to the local food vendors out here. We love to go to local food stall because first we like to support the local communities. Surprisingly, we haven't gotten the thing called the Bali belly, which you get the idea.
Can we do 2 nasi campur ayam betutu?
Nah, ayam betutu kosong.
No more.
Ayam goreng.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
This one.
2.
These two.
Having the ayam goreng, which is fried chicken. See, that's come with some rice, some vegetable, fried chicken, and for the extra protein, there's a piece of tofu and a piece of tempeh. And then for some extra protein, we also have the satay we got from earlier. That is our dinner. Simple and yummy. And this dinner is only $3.50.
For 2 people?
For 2 people.
Last thing, what I like about Bali here is actually the people. The people are very friendly and very trusting and honest, in my opinions, based on what I observed so far and based on my own personal interaction. Comment down below if you are planning to come to Bali as soon as quarantine is no longer a thing. And you might also think maybe because I'm a tourist, I may get ripped off. And it can still happen in other places, but so far in Bali, I'm not getting that experience. In many occasions already, due to the language barrier, right, they may tell me one price. So the other day, we were getting the small drink from this local food stall. They don't have a price menu, so we asked them at the end how much. And the daughters of the owner said that after thinking for a while, she said 18,000. I gave her a 20,000 bill. And her mom slapped her hand making a joke, and I was like, oh, you're wrong, because actually it cost 8,000, so she gave me the correct change back. And that didn't happen only once, it actually happened multiple times where they may say one price, perhaps mix up the number, 15 and 50 could be mixed up, and I will give them whatever they told me, but they will be like, oh, no, that's wrong, let me give you the correct change back. And that is my experience so far. The reason why I say people over here are very honest and trusting is because of the way they do business here. For example, when I booked my quarantine hotel and also booking my first villa in Bali, I did not have to pay any deposit or pay upfront. And the fact that they honor my booking via WhatsApp without any collateral is just amusing to me. I can actually keep shopping, keep looking at other hotels when I find something better, and I can just cancel them on them last minute. They might miss an opportunity to rent out my room to other customer who might need it. But because I have already said that I will come and they'll honor my booking, that just means they have a lot of faith in what they're doing. They just have to trust that it will work out. And remember the app I talked about earlier, Grab and Gojek? Cash is a payment option. Imagine if you can pay Uber using cash. How weird would that be? So when we order food, the driver, I don't know how it worked behind the scene. Maybe the driver have to pay ahead to the restaurant before he comes to us if we select cash as the payment option. And once he get here, we'll give him the money along with tips if we want to. Then, that would be it. What if the drivers say that or claim that we never pay? And what if we refuse to pay because the order was wrong? You might find it very silly that I'm so intrigued by this. Perhaps because I'm so used to the society where when someone asks for a favor, you start to think, what's in it for me? Anyone can sue anyone on the smallest thing. So there's kind of like no trust established, between humans. So that's it. So far Bali has been treating me very, very well. The biggest lesson I've learned in Bali so far is have faith. Trust in each other. Trust that things will work out in the end. Believe that better days are coming. Balinese people are hardworking and friendly. Life is simple here. I remember we visited a turtle sanctuary and the owner shared with us that we are the first foreigner he has seen since 2020. And honestly, he said that gave him hope. And despite the impact of the pandemic, he shared with us that he remained hopeful. He believes that one day his business will be back to normal. That's why having faith is so important. As I'm embarking on this self-discovery journey, I'm confident that things will work out for me.